I also later went there Saturday evening to see things for myself. When I got there, I saw a beehive of activities of motorcycles and people. A lot of motorcycles with product they are scooping from the tanker. A lot of people with wheelbarrows, they are pushing diesel. A lot of people with their buckets and their rubbers, they are moving with diesel from the area. Now, what happened is this. When the police team took the two tankers there and
took
shot
them from where?
They moved them. To me, to a very large extent, I don't believe the tankers come from Eleme. I don't believe the product were loaded from Eleme. Okay. But they must have been chasing them till they eventually caught them at that point.
Bad spot.
Yeah, then they asked them papers that they have used to lift the product, which they couldn't produce. They may have also offered to bribe the police. And the reason why they said this ablaze, to the best of my knowledge and understanding of how this operates, is not because maybe the tankers never offered to give them something, which is what is normally obtained.
What normally obtains?
What normally obtained is that when they caught those tankers, they only set them ablaze when they refused to settle.
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe the amount of money that the tankers offered to settle the police wasn't sufficient to the extent of what they expected from them. So for that reason, they decided that they are going to lose, all sides are going to lose. So they were in a hurry to set those tankers ablaze. So when they shot at the tanker, the tank that fueled the tanker to run, the fire started. Since they were in a hurry to leave because the tankers drivers and their conductor were already making calls to see how they can stop that from happening. So they hurriedly left the scene.
The police team.
The police team hurriedly left the scene while the tanker have started burning. So they didn't know that incomplete combustion occurred, whereby the tanker burns, the entire front where the driver seat burnt off, but the product itself, it was still inside, was yet to explode. Then the fire started going down. So community people now started going to scoop the products.
Okay.
So when they commence the scooping process, and a lot of people go home and tell them, there is product here. So people started coming out in their numbers. When I went there, I saw the activities that was around the area. So now some of them climbed the tanker with still little fire on the tanker, burning. They climbed the tanker and they were using buckets.
They didn't think to even put out the fire first.
They were trying their best to also put out the fire to protect them. But what fire has touched, there will always be little fire somewhere waiting for any product to ignite. So they started climbing and using bucket the same way you draw water from a well to draw the product from the tanker. That activity was going on. What now caused the explosion was that some residents in the area went with filing machine when they have scooped the products to the extent that it is now very much low. Okay. So they need to file part of the tanker so that they can get product from that source. That is what now caused the explosion. So
we now had another group of refiners.
Yes. Picking that. So that now happened and led to the death of many people. In fact, after the first report we gave, verifiable report we gave, 2 persons were those we saw that died on the spot. And then later on, we learned more people, about 6. I think a Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps confirmed 6, that 6 people have died. As at that time, we got report of 6 persons impacted, 2 dead, 4 in the hospital. Then we later learned 2 dead, 10 altogether, 8 in the hospital. And from the report we are getting, is like more damage happened from what we actually thought. So that is what happened. So if the security operative have not set ablaze that tanker, it will not have caused this multiple death. We've been advocating to say that when you confiscate tanker allegedly conveying illegal product, take the tanker to the nearest tank farm, which we believe the government would have designated, like in Rivers State. Haven't started the war against artisanal crude oil refining, the governor would have given a directive that any tanker confiscated, they should go to so place and empty the contents into tank.
I mean, what's the hurry in emptying the content? Just keep the tanker there, do your investigation, and then let
prosecute
them move.
The people.
Good. Yeah, because if the tanker is not carrying legally refined crude and you've taken off the crude, then how do you take it back into the tanker?
Exactly, because basically when they arrest them that way, they have investigated at that a momentary investigation. They know that it's illegal product. They know. I have also been to the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps headquarters in Port Harcourt. You see a lot of tankers they park that they have arrested. They take samples of those products, test the product to be sure, confirm if it is illegal product, then they try to take action. About Thursday 2 weeks ago, they set up these 2 other tankers at Agbonchia, also in Eleme. The road between Alesa, Eleme, Agbonchia to Oyibo, that new road that the governor did, they set 2 tankers ablaze there.
On the road,
by the roadside there.
So the road will be impacted.
Exactly. This is happening often. So you only hear about this when It happened where people are and people could report, or it leads to the death of people. Otherwise, this is happening frequently. They can also auction this tanker and use the money to support the war against artisanal refining, because what they are doing is destroying our environment further. The suit we are having in Port Harcourt, security operatives that set ablaze tankers and barges allegedly conveying illegal products are contributing over 40% to the suit that we are experiencing.
Yeah, but it's a two-way street. So the ones they destroy are the ones that, bring up this kinds of conversation. They're the ones that they collect money from and they're allowed to go, and they still, so in as much as there's still demand and supply, people are allowed to carry illegally refined crude from one place to another. Means that cooking will continue, vandalism will continue, and pollution will continue on the earth and of course in the clouds, and that gets to all of us.